That looks better. Lame. I actually do recall that it does use the DS jumpers. Was actually looking into that myself, Mr. C, because the front plate's missing off the front of my compact. So there's a big gaping hole where disk drive number 2 would go. So what I'm thinking of doing with it is putting in a Gotek as the primary drive, and then leaving its factory floppy drive in as the secondary. Right. The music's very quiet. There you go. Slightly louder. If I heard parody music, I'll be back. Oh yeah, so he's an element. Yes, my very genuine copy of Windows 95 that we're going to use here. Why? So you can kill my existing copy of Windows. I don't have any of that. Oh, actually, apparently the correct solution is, in fact, that I should be doing it from inside Windows. Oh, you dirty bastard. Disk 2, right? 2. There's mouse. Mouse is a Logitech. I can't use a Microsoft driver. I was outside. I should have grabbed the serial mouse for this. Actually, I wonder. I wonder how and I wonder why. Some bastard stole my pie. Might still be in the lounger, so not putting away properly from the LAN party, maybe. No, not the one I was looking for, anyway. But I may possibly have another one that's really close by, and I forgot I had really close by. So hang on, I'm going to go see if it's really close by. This wee bugger's been entombed in this bag since 1994. I'm free! It's time to take over the earth! Genuine Microsoft one even. Went with my trackball. think it jostled too many cards while it was doing that. Someone hasn't bothered to plug everything back in properly in the inside of that machine yet. As you can see from the distinct lack of screws and the fact they're all sitting up there. Keyboard error. Keyboard error my ass. Screwing in's for people who are like absolutely convinced their machine's finished though. I am not absolutely convinced this machine's done and sitting perfectly the way I want it to stay. I foresee much change. Is anything ever in and finalised on a build like this? No, we've totally lost the ability to use the keyboard all of a sudden. Okay, so if I plug in that PS2 adapter, it kills it, so... Back to mouse it is. It's alright. I think I know why it's doing that. It's not the fault of most of the components in the machine. It does, yeah. It doesn't have an actual connector. It's got pins. I need to make up the adapter for it. I'd like to make my own with blackjack and hookers so that we can have a nice neat socket on the back instead of having like a random housing with, you know. The only one I've got at the moment is a full-on like a pair of USB ports and a PS2 port, so I don't really want to use that for that. Now, what I do want doesn't exist. I want to make one. There's these lovely wee screens. Get them in JK. Use them for GoTex and stuff. It's just a little 64x128 OLED jobbo. I would like some sort of a... I'll have to fabricable something, but... like something that can feed this, that can just display either a static image or a little animation or something like that. It's monochrome, so it's not going to be the most complicated thing in the world. Or it could display a little bit of text, potentially have an input that toggles what the text says based on a button switch. Mr. C knows where I'm going with this. Most of you have probably gathered where I'm going with this. It's got no numeric display, but I can see the hole in the front where one would go. And buying an actual numerical display that fits it is pain in dick. But I don't really need it to be a full sysinfo VFD type of thing, because that involves a whole lot more plumbing to the system, and how do you get that data out of a 386, 486 class machine without using resources to fetch it? Resources we don't have. It'd be much easier to just have, like, turbo button results in a clock speed of pater comes up on screen that it's running at 66 or whatever you want. Now all it does is give you the post. Yeah, it doesn't give you clock speeds and things, though. Like, it doesn't give you any pertinent information that'd be funny to have on the front of the machine. Unless you wanted to look at your post codes and nothing else. Well, anything that plugs in is not going to give you a CPU clock. It'll give you a bus clock, which is always going to be 33 or less. 16 or whatever it is. What is it for? Oh, you say 16 in it. Something silly like that. I don't know. I don't know the intricacies of... or 8. Yeah, I think that's all I actually want, is just a wee Duino that I can just feed a little bit of code so that I can have a wee animation that says 486DX2, whee, or whatever it is. A little animation of overdrive or that kind of wank. Yeah, but then you have to start building something that can read what it's reading off the pins, and you've got to account for the fact you've now added an interposer and added a potential that gets messy. Just to have some shit on the front of it. It's static numbers. The factory would have just had a 7-segment screen that said 66 and 8 when you push the turbo button. That's all I really want it to do, but with a bit more gussy, because that's what we're doing with it. Back leather jacket. Then we want the blurple part to be red. Yes. I want fucking... I need to... It doesn't go choo-choo at the moment. Sick. Anyway, I needed to start bloody run. If setup. Oh, and it's 3 colors. You can get super fancy. So that's pretty much the same thing as this wee screen I've got here. This one is a 1.3 inch allegedly. It'll be on you. Oh no. Oh, Mr. C, am I going to have to learn a program? Message Ben Hick. Ben Hick, write me this shit. One needs. Learn a programming language. You're never going to need it ever again for any other job, really. Yeah, or ChatGPT, you could call. Oh, does the serial number from NAM work perfectly for this? Yes. Sure. I should have said Manuel. My Mortimer is no longer Mortimering. How long of a long time is a long time? Yeah, but ad breaks are manual, so it's however long it takes for me to click the button. I'll do an ad break, and I'll go and make myself a cup of coffee. And if I get back and it's still frozen, then we'll... I also just discovered something. I push the turbo button, and nothing fucking happens. It goes click, 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 but the light stays on. I poke my head over the top there. There's a fucking jumper on the turbo switch. They wanted to foolproof it. It was at a school. Yeah, that's alright. We will reconnect that, because a turbo button on this machine would be actually useful. I'll be back in a sec. Ads. Pause the BGM. Be right back. That's not Pooter. Stop! Please help us! I actually, hang on, I have to temporarily be right back. So I can go paste reference. There we go, lovely. Hey, someone there! It's the reset button. That was too long. I did hear a pretty cracking wee joke the other day. What do you call a cow with no legs? Expecting someone to reply that the answer is ground beef.